This
This is
conference
Priyanka.
will now be recorded.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen here. Okay. I hope everyone can see my screen, the correct screen.
Yes, we can see your slide there.
Okay. Okay. So what is EDI really? EDI, or the electronic data interchange, is the electronic interchange between business organizations, which is done in a standard format. So EDI is probably the fastest way to send information from one company to another. Um, before before using EDI, generally companies traditionally they used to communicate over paper. So, like for example, a purchase order or a shipment notice, an invoice, things like that. They would all be communicated on paper by sending via email, by sending via the email or a courier and all that. And then we would have like a bunch of paper uh, with us, which may be lost. So that's why people have switched to EDI, and it has great benefits like reduced cost. It has this increased processing speed because everything is done online. And there is a reduction of errors because there may be some manual errors that happen when there's exchange of paper happening. Um, and then there's also improved relationships with business partners. More and more people are going towards EDI, so the exchange of information is like really efficient. Let's go to the next slide. EDI in Epicor. In Epicor, we usually use the demand management module to process the EDI records. So like here in sales management, we have this demand management module, and then when we go to general operations, we have all our demand workbench, the import EDI process and all that. Initially, this would have to be set up in our company configuration. We have the demand module in company configuration where we can set up the input folder. Uh, okay, it's not. Okay, by the time it opens. So traditionally, this is done in the EDI demand process. And then we also can use Service Connect, where we can set up a set of workflows and all that and do the EDI processing. But more so in Epicor, it's done in the demand processing module. So here in our company configuration on modules and under sales, we have this demand module. We can give in the input and import folder that we need. So basically what this does is there's this folder wherein all the input documents or the output documents are all placed in. And then we have some vans doing all this processing for us. A van is nothing but it's an intermediary between the business partners to share this data. It's referred to as an electronic post office, like uh, wherein like it has the information, the to and from information, and it sends and receives the all the information that we need. Some examples of van include TIE Kinetics, SPS Commerce, IBM. Typically, Epicor usually uses TIE Kinetics. I couldn't find good screenshots to include in the slide here, but it has like a dashboard where we can see all the input and output files and the locations where they are stored and all that. And then I have then the EDI file format. It has to follow a set of rules. I have a sample file here that I can show. So it usually looks something like this. This could be the header record or of a purchase order. This could be the line records in the purchase order and all that. This is just one of the sample, but different EDI documents would have like different formats in them. A 850 document could be different from an 850 is the purchase order document. That could be different from an 810, which is an invoice document. So the different EDI documents that we have would be the 810, which is the invoice. Then we have 830, which is for the inbound planning schedule. We have 850 for the purchase orders. And then for the purchase order acknowledgement, we have 855. 856 is the advanced shipment notification. This is an outbound document. The 810 and 856 are outbound documents, whereas all the others are inbound documents. And then 862 is the inbound shipping schedule. So here, when we go to our demand management here, which is under sales management, oops, we have this import EDI process here. So we can select the file from the from the import folder, and then it does all the processing. Usually, the demand workbench, we can see if there are like any errors which have happened during either the import or the um, export process. If something has happened, usually we can see all those errors here. Um and um, Usually even on the van we have this they have their own dashboard which kind of like shows all the file locations wherever the we can also archive all those files. Um, and if something has failed we can make updates, like for example on the sample file if we saw that something was missing, some customer ID was incorrect, or some field which has to be true was set as false, or things like that. We can get those in the errors in the demand workbench, and then we can just update them and process them, further process them. So, mainly EDI is used for because it's just like more efficient than using it over sending all the notifications and everything via paper. Um, and it's a faster process. And then the next part that I would like to talk about is the product configuration. So product configurator, Epicor has this really good module for product configurator, um, wherein we can customize parts based on the demand from the customer. Um, every customer has their own demands. They have their own different parts that needs to be customized to form a product. So that's where product configuration comes into picture, where we can bind all these parts together into one single product, and that can be used. It gives us more flexibility, and this is more efficient. Um, it's really flexible because when it's built properly, the product configurator, it can give us so many options depending on the demand. It's more efficient because product configurator gives us the accurate options for both the seller and the customer in terms of pricing and their customization. Um, and all this transparency, it's really important because different departments, they have access to what the product is configured of, and it would help us fulfill the order faster and given more accurate delivery dates. So it's more efficient that way. The product configurator, it can be used in the following modules: in order entry, in quote entry, purchase order, and on job entry. We can just select the product that we configured. It consists of the configurator entry, design, and rule entry. So these are the three main elements of the configurator designer. Wherein we given the entry, we can design a configurator however we want. Like we can give in the various text boxes, various drop-down options, and typically the rules consists of um, if we want to select a drop-down based on the drop-down selected earlier, we can give in all those rules there. So I have one configurator entry created here for a picture frame, and the way we can use it is if we go to part, I have one product created that we can just take a look at, and then we can use that either in the order entry or code entry to access that. So this is one product that I configured. Um, uh, when we create a new, it's just like creating a new part, but we have to select this type as manufactured and select the group as configured parts, give it as a non-stock item, and when we go to create a new revision, um, that's when we if we gave all the options correct over here on the part detail, then we would have this configurator entry button that shows up here. Before the revision is approved, we can just go into configurator entry, and then from here we can from this overflow menu here, we have the option to go into the configurator designer and the configurator rules. Once we go into the configurator designer, this is just like adding fields using App Studio. So when we get into this, we can give all the different types of fields that we would like to put in here. So I just put in like frame type, frame size, and the glass type for the picture frame that I'm trying to configure. And then once this is approved, sorry, once this is approved, we can go back and use that on our order screen here. On either of these, on PO or the order or quote, job, etc. We can use this. When I go into my test order here, I can create a new part. If it's a regular part, it wouldn't have the configure option here. But if I select the configure part, I get this option, this button for configuration. I can go ahead and click that, and then select all the options that I need. Um, like I can change the frame type that I need, the frame size, and all of this, and then save it. And then for this part, we would have this configurable product. This could be different for like different customers would need different products configured. So we just have to go ahead and select whatever is required. And also like we can use the configurator rules if it's like a really complex, a really big and a complex product that we are doing. We can put in set of rules and all that, and then based on that we can create this order. So like one example would be if someone is trying to build some desktop computer, and different people would want like the memory size would be different, the processor speed would be different, the equipment that they'd need along with that would be different, things like that. So this is just uh, this is how the product is configured here. So this one just says like how we have to go ahead and create the part, add the materials, define the method of manufacture and all that. So and then product configurator, really it may not be for everyone. It just if your business doesn't make sense, it really, we don't need to worry about it. But if you have like a really complex set of uh, products, a large number of production options that you would need, then this is definitely the thing to go to. It's just a little more, it has all this development time and all that that it would take in order to generate whatever type of form that we need. And the redesign may be a little difficult, but if we have like a really huge number of production options, then this is great for uh, doing that. So anyone have any questions?
So far, we don't have any questions in the chat window.
Okay.
I've got everyone muted so that we could keep the background noise to a minimum. If you do have
Mhm.
questions for Priyanka, go ahead and put them into the chat window. While we're waiting for that, we are recording this, so it will go up on our YouTube channel. I don't have an ETA on that. Um, I'll try and get them all wrapped up at the end of the month once we're done, at the very least. And I do send out a notification if you're signed up for the video notifications when those come out. And it doesn't look like we have any questions, Priyanka. You might get off easy here. So if you want to hang out for just another minute in case somebody's still typing,
Okay.
and I'll check. I don't see any hands raised either. So I think we're doing okay. Um, we'll just give people another minute here to type into the chat if you do have any questions. Otherwise, thank you very much for attending our Lunch and Learn, starting those off. Question from Chris Weininger. Do you have to use the configurator? You do not have to use the configurator, and this is an add-on product for Epicor and can be used for where you've got multiple options for a product like size and color, shape, dimensions, things like that, and you want to be able to configure those on the fly. Priyanka, I've got a question from Pete. For the configurator, will it store all sales for that type of part under that default part number?
Yeah, it's going to be the default part number that we saw, but the internal options would be different based on whatever we selected on that particular order line.
So it would look like you sold PFPD, but then you'd have the different configurations for your frame and glass types as it was sold.
Yes. Mhm.
There you go, Pete. Any other questions? We'll give it just a little bit here in case somebody's still typing. Got one more from Pete. Will it track pricing per config, or do you need to track lots? Do you know that one, Priyanka?
Um, I'm not sure about that one. Um, I just know that based on the options that we select, the pricing would be different. I mean, we can give all that in the configurator rules. Um,
So it should be, your pricing would be per configuration then, I think, not as opposed
yes.
to like a lot manufacturer, I think, Pete.
Hmm.
Kavanaugh, what is the YouTube channel this will be uploaded to? Uh, I will put that link in here. It's the CodaBears YouTube channel. You can also find that on codabears.com as a link over to it. Give me just a second to copy the link address, and that should be in chat window for everybody now for the YouTube address. It's youtube.com/@codabears. We made it really difficult. Surprisingly, I couldn't remember it, but All right. Any other questions? Also on that YouTube, if you're not familiar with it, when we do the virtual user group meetings, those are also posted up there. You'll also find most of the lunch and learns that we've held in the past are also on there, and there's a few playlists that you can use. There's even a playlist that has all of the videos. So if you want to have videos playing in, for example, your break room, you can put them on a loop using that playlist, and people can garner some information from the various lunch and learns that we've had over the years. All right, Priyanka, I'm not seeing any other questions posted in the chat window here. So I think we'll end it here unless I see one come across real quick. Thank you everybody for attending. Thank you, Priyanka, for putting this together for everyone. We hope you all
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it and hope that you're in for the future ones.
Thank you, everyone.
Talk to you later. Bye bye.